Hello there, my name is Elijah Burke, and this is the pilot episode of Grinding Gears. Guest starring with me is Ariel Young.
It's good to be here. Yeah.
Thank you. Alright, so, noon this week. Upcoming, we have Formal, the Beverly Hills High School Formal. I think it's at the El Rey Theater. Does it sound right to you? And they are charging $60 without ASB and $45 with
$45 with ASB, yes.
Alright, here's the thing about that. To get ASB, it costs, what was it, $60?
Yes, $60 with the yearbook.
Okay, but hey, with ASB, you save $15. But leaving out the fact, in order to get that discount, you shell out another $60. And I don't know, I didn't do the math myself, but I can already tell that I don't think I'm saving on that. It's just a whole this is the kind that we're reaching the middle of the year where now they're going to start charging us for everything in school. We can take tests for free, but if you want to do anything else, you have to shell out some cash.
That's great, yeah. Half the time all of the cost falls on half the population, with the whole responsibility of the guy to pay for dances, stuff like that.
Yeah,
what's with that, man?
There's plenty of stuff that we, whether it's games or whether it's dances, like it's formal, there's prom, is there any other dances?
Not that I can think of.
Alright, well, it's traditionally the duty of the guy to ask out a girl to go to a dance or event. And even if a girl has asked out a guy, it still rests on him, traditionally, and for the most cases, for him to pay for the cost. So now, not only has it become, let's say most students don't have an ASB, so like $60 becomes $200 or $120, and that's before renting a tuxedo. Whether you don't rent a tuxedo or you buy your own clothes, put it together, that's conservative. I'm putting around another $50. That's a very conservative estimate. I don't know how much all this stuff costs, but that's already $170 before transportation, before pictures. You think most people want to take pictures. Parents want pictures. Who's going to pay for that? What else is there? There's already mentioned transportation, pictures.
Anything before
just eat. And then there's like all these it's just, and these are doing one night, close to $200 for one night. And they still expect you to pay for all the other school events. Do you know any others that come to mind?
Well, we've got Disneyland trips, California Adventure, Disneyland itself. There's all of the stuff for graduation, the gowns, the caps.
All right, so just to touch on the California Adventure, Disneyland thing, there's the estimated price for both parks. It's the senior night, where at the end of every year, seniors from different schools come together and they enjoy the parks themselves. But you have to pay. You have to pay for both parks. I'm not sure if they just decided to go just Disneyland or with California Adventure as well. But what I did hear from a teacher was that if it is both California Adventure and Disneyland, it will be $250. So without prom, without graduating, already we're at, if you go to formal, somewhere in the range of $400, $500. Now, you mentioned cap and gown. In order, they will send out a notification to all the seniors that you had to pay for what they called cap and gown, right? It sounds pretty simple enough. They didn't mention it's $55.
Now it's $55.
Was it before?
I think it gets more expensive later.
Oh yeah, it gets more. If you don't pay now, it's going to get more expensive for no discernible reason. And in the fine print at the bottom of the email that I received, I'm pretty sure it's the same everyone else got. You have to buy it in order to walk in graduation. I can't graduate without shelling $55. So even if I didn't go to formal, I didn't go to Disneyland, I didn't go to prom, $55. I didn't have to pay. Yeah. Also, it gets worse. I went online to see how much, because I was originally looking for bulk costs, because I was going to do some math. I wanted to see how much it actually came out for an estimate for all the seniors to pay. What I came across instead was able to buy individual cap and gowns. It was cheaper than $55. It was half that online in order if I bought myself. So I have to shell out $55 in order for just to walk graduation when I could buy my own for half the price.
That's a racket, man. And yearbooks, gotta buy those now.
Oh my God!
What is it, $120 if you do it next semester?
Now!
Oh, okay, my bad.
It gets worse. Wait, is it $120 now?
I think it's under 100 now, but then next semester, yeah.
Okay, so right now, from our last year, at the second semester, it was $150 for a yearbook. I was like, you know what? I really wanted last year's yearbook. There's a bunch of seniors I was friends with. This year's yearbook, yeah, it's cool. Might want to get it, but the seniors from last year, the class that graduated, is what I really wanted to see, as well as my own pay share. But I thought maybe at New Year, maybe there'll be a price reduction. Maybe I'll even be able to get one for free. No, it's $150 for last year's yearbook. Their explanation. Did you hear about their explanation?
I did not.
You were here last year, though, right?
No.
Okay, you weren't even here.
I was not, no.
Okay. Their explanation was, well, I've been describing all this as highway robbery, right? And they basically admit to it, because they gave their official position as to why it's so much money, is that there are still students in school who are in the yearbook, and that's why it's so expensive. That doesn't make logistical sense. I don't see how that makes them. Oh, wait! The people who would want the yearbook are still in school, and that's why they have to pay so much money. They are admitting to highway robbery. Racketeering, absolutely.
I just love being sold, the high school experience. Like, you want to have that experience. You want to have, the graduation ring and the yearbook and walking across the stage.
Walking to get your diploma?
Yeah, but it's not free.
No.
You got to pay. This is America.
No, of course not. In public school, that we pay our taxes in order to go to. Oh, you thought you were done paying? You're not. You think we're going to pay for this?
That's ridiculous.
And how much money did they get for the construction? That still hasn't finished. It's been like 2 or 3 years now.
And we're in debt too.
We're in debt. It was tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions. And the construction has been on a hold for at least a year.
Just because it's been released doesn't mean we can all pay, out of the... Never mind.
Out of the expletive.
Yes.
Oh, God. And then prom comes along. Then
what is it, $200 per ticket?
Last year was $160. But then again, that's one ticket. And if you're taking it out, guess what? It's now $380?
Yes. No.
No, 280. I'm
okay. 160.
380 for the first time.
No. 160 times 2 is 320.
I was close. 320, not 380. But that's, again, so going back to the same point with formal. That's just for the tickets. That's not the price of your
limousine, transportation. Everybody expects to go to dinner first.
Dinner, you gotta take me out first.
Yeah.
But it's just a complete mess. And no one seems that bothered by it all.
It's just normal, we get to pay for everything.
And what else are they expecting us to pay for? Do you recall anything else? I think that's kind of...
Well, there was a time they brought in the salesman from the memorabilia company to try and get us to order those packages, in the Salter Theater. Were you there for that?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh, no, they brought in a salesman, and he presented to us the array of products that they offer, and why it was such a good idea, to buy these. Remember your high school years. It's very important to do it by the deadline, but here's a catalog, of all the stuff that they offer. Just take that home to your parents.
Was this for the pictures that we took for your...
No, it's for... Okay.
Memorabilia.
I think it's the same company that does the pictures.
Okay.
But it's also class of 2018 mugs, class of 2018 rings, class of 2018, assorted jewelry and bangles. Yeah.
Was this a voluntary
No.
assembly?
That was... I think it was... it definitely replaced one of my classes, and it was an academic class.
Class. They took you out of class to go listen to a sales rep.
Sad middle-aged man try to sell you a stuff that I don't need. How do you get that career? How do you end up selling high school memorabilia in an auditorium?
Yeah. Maybe I do, so I can not do that. That's definitely not something I want to end up doing. It's just
messed up
time after time again, and it just keeps going, and it doesn't rest with us. The classes below us will have to go through this, but it just, like I mentioned before, it just boggles my mind that no one seems phased at all. I mean, I think part of that rests with that most of the kids have their parents pay for it, whether they can afford it or not, mind you.
If we're talking about school expenses, we can talk about the parking lot. $300 for a spot.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't have a car, so I don't know this.
Yeah, no, that was something. That's like a third of the value of my car.
300 for a parking spot.
Yeah, I drive a Beaver.
Wait, and so you have to pay. Here's the thing: you have to pay for insurance.
Yeah, no.
You have to pay for the car itself.
Yeah, the gas.
I know you have to pay. I've already taken the test and everything, so I know you have to pay, in order different fees in order to get, and then they make you pay for a spot. What else do they do?
And not only is it that, first you have to apply for the privilege of paying for a spot. You have to submit an application for a parking spot.
An application?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Was it a one-time fee?
One-time fee, yeah. Per school year. If you're a junior, you get to pay it again next year. Have fun with that.
So, okay, so the age, let's say 15 and a half year old gets a car. Is that in junior year or sophomore year?
Middle, sophomore, junior, depending on when you're born.
Okay, so let's say it was in sophomore year. The next 3 years, that person, they're shelling out $180, or no, I'm sorry, $1,000.
$1,800.
$1,800.
No, $900. I'm an idiot. $900.
Yeah, I'm not here for math, if you couldn't tell. $900 in the course of 3 years to be able to park at school. Foregoing all the other costs that you have to pay as a senior, and even if you want to go as a junior to any of the school events, whether it's formal, whether it's... Is that all the dances we have, formal and prom?
I think so.
I think they might used to have another dance,
yeah.
But... and here's the thing, when it comes to prom, one thing I don't understand is that for formal, they managed to make the tickets $60 without ASB. What is the difference? What is the radical difference between formal and prom, other than the fact, just like Watchtower, just like our beloved yearbook, what is the difference other than more people want to go?
It's the experience, man. Prom is worth more. They can screw you out of more money.
That's all it is. It's not because, we have more cost to cover, or no, it is that more people want to go. It just doesn't. We can talk about this till we're blue in the face, but I'm sure there's other news in the week other than formal coming up. What else do we have?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. It's already out?
Yeah, you could see it last night if you were on top of tickets like 2 months ago.
I remember when Force Awakens came out, you had to get tickets like at least 2 or 3 months beforehand. So it came out yesterday.
Yesterday night, yeah.
I remember I read something online that they broke sales when it came to buying for previews. I'm not sure how that works, but they broke like some record with previews. Everyone's hyping up for this. You've seen the trailer, yeah?
Oh yeah, no, of course. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
Oh yeah, so I love Star Wars, just like anyone who has ever seen it. Side note, it boggles me that so few people, alright, I'm not talking about a generational thing, I'm just talking people in general have not seen Star Wars. No, not just our generation, but people in general
have
not seen the single biggest cultural icon of the last 4 decades. It came out in what, 88, A New Hope?
Earlier 70s.
Was it the 70s?
Yeah.
Like 78, 76?
Yeah, end of the 70s.
It was, and people have still not seen it. Anyway,
I want to say 1977. Yeah.
What's it? It's The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi.
Is it really why is it The Last Jedi? Do you not want to make more Star Wars movies? Not many of you guys, but Rogue One was even worse than The Force Awakens, and there was no Jedi's in it.
See, The Force Awakens was just a rewrite of the fourth Star Wars movie, if you think about it. Like
the 4th episode.
Yeah, they just replaced the characters and the settings, and then it was the same movie.
And I gotta hand it to them. It was a nice marketing tool because they got it, squeeze out the cash from.
I saw Star Wars branded oranges in the grocery store.
I'm just gonna finish up this part though.
Sorry.
That it's all good. That nostalgia for those who've already seen it, and then for those who haven't seen it, get to experience the same rehashed experience that those experienced when it first came out. But what I'm afraid of, I don't know. We've seen the trailer. We see ATs are like some sort of tank on a snow planet. Ringing bells. Okay, that's just the first part. Okay, a Jedi mentor, teaching a young, dare I say, Padawan,
that she had to go to a remote location to find.
Yeah, exactly, a remote location. I don't know.
It seems familiar.
Just ever so slightly. Oh wait, the second Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back. It is I don't know, but I'm afraid it's going to be literally the exact carbon copy of Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5, which I do believe came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It's messed up, man.
I think it's kind of unequivocally the best Star Wars movie. So I don't, no doubt, I've heard good things. Heard people say they've seen it last night. I said it was great. But I don't know if that doesn't mean it's unique. Something can be great, but not unique.
Yeah, I have my doubts. I saw the beginning of a New York Times review that said that, all you need to follow the new Star Wars movie is a basic understanding of the hero versus villain dynamic.
they're appealing to those common denominators.
Honestly.
And I know, like, they're in it to make money, not to appreciate the fans or the original story, but it
should be taken into account.
At the very least, just a consideration. You know, it's just common grace.
They alienated a whole portion of the fan base when they released the last movie. There was this whole community of
Rogue One, right?
No, sorry, number 7, Force Awakens. Yes.
Okay.
There was this whole giant expanded universe of novels and
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and they just nullified all of it. They renamed it Star Wars Legends, and none of that counts anymore because it conflicts with the storyline they've chosen. And there's some
Disney made that move, right?
Yeah.
Disney did it, and Disney does not. I don't appreciate whatever Disney does to a franchise that they take over. Didn't they just buy Marvel too?
Did they?
I heard they bought Marvel. Or no, they bought Fox Entertainment, which includes Marvel.
Okay. Oh my.
It's just kind of... Well, no, actually, did they already own Marvel? They bought Marvel separately, but now they bought Fox Entertainment, which does include X-Men.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, they might do because they might just get their grubby hands all over X-Men.
Does anyone have Deadpool?
I do believe so. Which means they're going to try to just incorporate as many superhero characters as they could possibly can to fit into a movie. You have to sell movie tickets. That's another thing. At least that's not at school. But $15-$16 before tax in order to pay to see a movie that may or may not be good. Before
there's actually this thing called MoviePass that
I've heard of that. Yeah, it seems like a rip-off. I mean, it's not necessarily. It sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
But okay, so for the audience, explain what it is.
So you pay $10 a month to this company called MoviePass, and in return, you get to see one movie every day of that month in the theaters for free for your $10. They send you a Visa, and when you check into a movie that you want to see, they wire money to it, and you can purchase a ticket. It sounds like a scam, but there was a very interesting article on the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, a reputable source, explaining that their goal, it's by the same guy that founded Redbox and Netflix, who was
Redbox is
on the founding
boxes that come out of 7-Eleven.
Yeah, okay. Those are the ones. Right. So apparently what they're trying to do is build up a sufficient user base to be able to use as leverage to force the movie theaters into selling them tickets wholesale at a price that is effective for $10 a month.
Sell who the tickets?
Sell MoviePass the tickets to sell to you.
So they they're angling to be able to sell movie tickets directly to the consumer as opposed to going.
Yeah, as a subscription service, like $10 a month, you get to go to the movies once a day. It's like Netflix.
Except if you got to see one movie every day on Netflix or one episode. It sounds. I've heard some people talk about it. They've talked about it as this amazing deal, but I could not name 5 movies in 1 month I'd want to see in the last couple months, let alone one movie every day. So in the end, maybe I see 1, 2. Also, I'm working. A lot of people are too. School, I'm not. Some people are spending a lot of time in school, whether it's college issues or doing the homework issue, and they're gonna find time to go to a movie every single day.
See, I'm getting it for December and January, and during winter break, I'm going to religiously go every single... There's not going to be a movie that comes out in those 2 months that I won't see.
We'll run out of movies.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
I guess in the end, you do save money, and maybe we are screwing the movie theaters who are screwing us out of our money. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I want to hear everyone else's thoughts, but I guess we'll find out. We'll see how it plays out.
Be interesting to see.
There's a lot of things that have been going on. I guess we just have to see how they play out. In the same vein as MoviePass, or what else has been going on that we have to see play out? We've been seeing the whole entertainment business.
Yes, Hollywood implode.
Yeah, it just. Who was this week? You mentioned
the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Terry Crews.
He's also the U.S. president in Idiocracy. I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Continue.
Yeah, he was actually sexually assaulted apparently by a producer in Hollywood. This,
massive.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, he's a massive black guy. He is just.
Former football player.
Okay, well, we're coming to the close of the show, but basically there's a lot to look out this week. Not a whole lot of hard, cold cut news, but that we have to see how a lot plays out, and I guess we're gonna find out more as the story continues. Thank you very much for being with us. This is Grinding Gears. My name is Elijah Burke, your host, and this has been Ariel.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's been good to be here.
Thank you. All right.